Love is the Christian engine that drives us. Ephesians 4:15 says, but speaking the truth in love, that we may grow up in all things into Him who is the head, Christ. If we have such love, if we're to put out such love, how do we share that with others? Well, we have to speak the truth in love. We got to preach the gospel. We talked about that. We've got to have genuine and continual boldness. We've talked about that. Well, we've also got to do those things in love. Because if we have those without love, we miss the mark entirely. If we have those things without love, if we preach the gospel without love, then we're doing it to show our own authority. We're doing it to show our own knowledge and presence. We're not doing it because we care about a soul, not if we don't have love. To have genuine and continual boldness, if we do that without love, we're not standing out from the culture at all. We're doing it so that we can be different. Look at me, I'm different. Not look at Christ and how He has made me different through Him. Love is required. We must speak the truth in love. Well, what does that look like? You could go to John 21 when Christ is talking to Peter there, if you love me, feed my sheep. And He says, well, okay, love requires action. You could look at Mark chapter 10 with Christ and the rich young ruler, and He says, what must I do? And He says, keep these commands. Oh, I've done these since my youth. And of course, in verse 21 there, Christ says, one thing you lack. What does it say before that? Christ looked at him, loved him, and said, one thing you lack, go sell all you have. Pick up your cross and follow me. Why did Christ tell him that? Because He loved him. Is that what the man wanted to hear? No, it's not. He loved his things. We know that because the next verse in chapter 22 says he went away sorrowful for he had great possessions. So why did Christ tell him that? Well, because He loved him. That's why. And you got to be bold with the truth. You've got to understand that some things, no matter how they're presented, will be found offensive. But that's not the goal. I spoke with my classes about that the other day. We had some things obviously happening in our society. Sharing opinions and points of view and free speech. And I said, the goal is this, always. To stand firm in your convictions, in the truth. To never have the goal of being offensive. It's not the goal. I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I have no desire to do that. I have no desire to do that this morning. No desire. However, there are times when the truth is presented. No matter how I present it, it is going to be found offensive. It is going to hurt your feelings because it is counter to what you would desire. That doesn't mean I get to change it because it's counter to what you want. The truth is what the truth is, and it's unchanging, and it always has been. It is truth and it is reason. However, it may be found offensive. That doesn't mean I stop presenting it in love. Christ was the most loving man to ever walk the face of the earth, and He was found offensive by many. That doesn't mean He changed the truth. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 24, perhaps this is the perfect explanation of what it means to share the truth in love. 2 Timothy 2, 24 through 25. And a servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but be gentle to all, able to teach, patient, in humility, correcting those who are in opposition. If God perhaps will grant them repentance so that they may know the truth. Perhaps the perfect explanation of what does it mean to share the truth in love. Not quarrel, be gentle to all, able to teach, patient, in humility, correcting those who are in opposition. I do that in humility. I don't do that so I can show you how smart I am, so I can put you in your place. I do that because I care about your soul, and I would like for you to go to heaven one day for all eternity. That's why. Not because I'm smarter than you, not because I know more than you. Let me flex my intellectual muscles, my scriptural muscles. That's not why. Because I care about your soul. That's sharing and speaking the truth in love. And you may disagree with me. There's nothing I can do about that, but I can continue to be approachable, continue to be receivable to you, sharing the truth in love all the time. Well, they're just not listening. Forget about it. No, that's not radical love. And if we want to live in defiance of the culture, we must practice radical love.